something to be said about hard-nosed full contact. It's like that raw rap all the way back to boom bap. Spikes up, Ty Cobb inspired killing the corners. Heating up with recklessness, we still getting warmer. Nevertheless, nothing can test, we bring it best. Wile E. Coyote mixed with Roadrunner, full comers. Holding your title hostage, the kings we smoke others. You're either with us or against us, it doesn't matter which. Scouting your weakness, we bring the wrath when we hit. There's never been a squatters or a trash who can spit. You might get bashed with a stick while I'm pounding the fence. Look around, you're a fish while I'm rounding it quick. Take a look at the base and sprint off with a fist in your face. No remorse, no mercy, no force can hurt me. The scouts purposely bring the pain, come try to work me. But there's a crew of dirty cats.
Oh, man. Woo. You play one softball tournament, dummy, your lungs aren't back yet. I want to see how long I can go. Hey, good evening, ladies and germs. Welcome to the Glue Guys program every Wednesday night, 6:30 Mountain Standard Time. We are here on the internet providing vital information about pop culture, senior softball in general. And as our soon-to-be fighting, hopefully friend of the program says, it is super necessary. Super necessary.
Super necessary.
Yes, our boy was on Rogan this week, and I was very, very interested in what he had to say. It was a very, very good program.
Yeah.
I'm sure we will talk some UFC later on this program, and it will involve Mr. Masvidal because we will be talking about that weight division and the shit show that Dana White has presented us after the self-proclaimed king retained his belt in London. Leon Edwards beat Kamaru Usman. We would have loved to have watched it, but we were busy winning at that time, at that particular Saturday time. Not so much later Sunday. We'll get into that too.
Hey, so listen. We were obviously supposed to start the show promptly at 6:30 p.m. MST, Mountain Standard Time, because we are in lovely Arizona. We don't do that dumbass moving the clock bullshit.
Nope.
However, our time got rescheduled as a result of people who didn't show up.
Chat got me early. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
For people who didn't, because people didn't show up, we didn't get a notification. Whoa! I wish, man. The Spark Studios would look a lot different behind me than if we had that kind of view, bro.
I'm looking for where my Clinton picture is. I don't.
Oh,
I don't know where. Wow,
that's some weird shit.
It's a tie into the comment.
Yeah.
Anyway,
it's all good. It's all good. So. Man, it's tough. We were trying to stay on schedule. Things happen.
Oh yeah, somebody
didn't want anybody.
Right.
Yeah,
right.
We didn't want.
I see now.
Dumb. Yes, sir. Oh man. So yeah. Let's actually talk about that MMA shit because we didn't watch it. And
no, and breaking down the fourth wall.
Yeah.
Obviously, Los and I knew we were going to be playing on the same team this weekend, playing some softball, which we've said we were excited about. And literally from the get-go, I'd say probably right after the show last week, right into Saturday. There it is. Johnny got it. Above reproach, motherfucker. Love Johnny K.
Listen.
That's the show, man.
I know everyone's waiting for Randolph, Arizona to join the show. Man, dude, shout out to Mickey. That shit made my fucking week, bro. And it was even funnier because my jersey, of course, from this weekend has Arizona in the back, as if that's my last name. So yeah, Randolph, Arizona for life, for por vida, señor. But man, I'm gonna fuck around. I'm totally gonna put that on my jerseys here from here on out, bro. Two lines, bro. Two lines.
I missed that whole shit with the World Baseball Classic. I missed the interview. And so when that got posted today, I text Marlos and I said, what co-host? No idea. So he tagged me something on Facebook, and then I went back and got caught up. Thank you, Google. Love and now I understand. But But anyway, so
Love
from the
it.
show on Wednesday, him and I have been trying to scientifically figure out where we would be playing wise when the fight came on, because it was in London. It was a 1 o'clock start time.
Yeah, something crazy.
I think like 2 o'clock for the main card. There were a couple prelim fights we both wanted to see.
Right.
So early Saturday, after our second pool game, which I think was at like 1:30, which ended up being 2:30, we were watching fights on the stands on ESPN Plus. We both had our own illegal ways of watching the main card. Losis happened to be about 20 to 25 seconds faster than my illegal way. So he was being very nice and not reacting at all to the fight as I was watching it behind him, which I truly appreciate. So we tried to figure it out. We did all these different ways, and it ended up we were totally wrong. And we only caught, I think, the first 2 rounds of the Gagey fight, and then we had to play in our first bracket game, which should have been at 3:35, but I think ended up starting about 15, 20 minutes late, roughly, and we missed the entire main event. Imagine my surprise when checking my phone after that game to see that Edwards had retained in a majority decision.
Right.
And then literally as Los and I are checking the internet 15, 20 minutes, 25 minutes after the fight, a lot of London judges, this and that. I went back and watched the fight, and I could say with all certainty that
Leon won
Usman
that.
did not
Leon
do
won that
enough. He didn't do enough to take the belt back.
Leon won that fight.
It's that simple.
Nah, you know what? I'm gonna jump in front. I'm gonna go the other direction because I don't want to say Usman didn't do enough to win the fight. I want to say Leon Edwards won the fight.
Yeah.
Although it's the same, I know it's the same, and I'm not really like trying to be nitpicky. What I mean is, like, a lot of people have said it the way you said it, right? And I think it's unfair in a way to Leon, even though I'm not a big fan of Leon and he's weird. It's hard for me to disrespect the title, so to speak. The man is he is the title holder, right? He was defending. He was not a challenger. And so for me, I feel like I have to address it that way, because the other thing I felt like he won that fight. There was never a point where that fight was so close, like everybody on the internet, or not everybody, like some people on the internet were trying to pretend. He won that fight. Usman did not look like Usman that we know. He wasn't nearly as aggressive as we are used to seeing. Nope. There was nothing about that fight that made me think, oh my God, it's because they're in London. He got robbed. No, he robbed himself because he just didn't do what he normally does. At the same time, let's be fair and let's be clear. Leon did do what he needed to do to win that fight. And I mean, I don't know. Like, I know when we were going into the week, I kept saying, I don't really know if I give a fuck about this fight. And I think after the fact, I still really don't give a fuck about this fight. No. But for the reason that matters, which is this weight class is ass right now, bro. The next thing being fucking Colby Covington gets a title shot next. Get the fuck out of here, bro. I lost. I had this much interest. For the Leon Edwards and Usman fight, right? And then as soon as that ended, I was like, okay, cool. Then I hear all this bullshit with Colby. I was like, yeah, I really don't give a fuck at all at this point. Y'all just doing whatever the fuck. I do appreciate the fact that Chito Vera said something that I think all of us agree with and all of us think. He brought up the fact that Peter Yan was the number one contender. O'Malley beat Peter Yan and all of a sudden became the number one contender. And then Merab Dwashwili beat Yan. Now he's the number one contender. And so Chito was like, yeah, so you could basically have like a number 10 all of a sudden get a title fight, or any other random fucking guy all of a sudden gets a title fight. So we're all clear that it just doesn't fucking matter. They're just making up shit. The Colby shit, and the reason I brought all that up was to say the Colby shit is exactly that. Homeboy has literally not fought, like, at all. He's just not fighting, period. His last, 3 wins or 2 wins are Masvidal, and he beat broken down, not the same person, fucking Tyron Woodley.
Right.
And that's it. And all these fucking all these murderers in that division in the top 10. He doesn't fight any of them, and all of a sudden, yeah, he's the next. Get the fuck out of it. This is bullshit.
Well, I saw a good. I think it was a tweet. I forget who it was, so I apologize. But somebody, pointed something out and said Dana White privilege is real. And that's legit. That's legit. And the reason I say that about the fight, to go back real quick, is I think and it's my own fault. I think I'm trying to answer people who are trying to pull the judges this and in London, it was skewered toward Leon. No,
I get that.
I think that's why I say it that way.
Because, I totally get it.
Leon did what he had to do. He trained right, and he was ready. I think even if Usman was aggressive, it would have been a different fight, but still Leon was ready for it. So I'm not sure, as confident as I was early in the week that Usman would win, that would even work. So Leon did what he had to do. Also, I thought Justin Gaethje wasn't done yet, and boy, was I correct. He put on a clinic, man, in my opinion, when I went back and watched it. In that,
definitely that. Mm-hmm.
He set out with a game plan and completely followed his game plan to the T. I think Rafael got a little bit of an education. I think he's going to be a better fighter coming out of this. Even though he's a little older, it took him a while to get there. I think he's still growing and getting better. I think he learned a ton that, he's got to adjust his game. He's got to master a couple other things in his game. And that, listen, no matter how much you want to paint it, Leon Sand, holy shit.
What the wow.
Wow.
What the
wow. I think, he'll be a better fighter, but Justin Gaethje is still a bad MFer, all right? So, still in the picture too, right? And Gaethje even, look, you want to talk about humble. He turned around and said he would take the loser, all right, of either, what'd he say? Oliveira and, my brain. But he said he thinks he should get the loser of that fight.
Fiziev said that?
No. Gaethje said he would take the loser of that fight because the winner obviously would get the shot depending on who's got the belt. I mean, obviously it's gonna stay with Islam, but for a minute I was thinking Chimaev for a second. I don't forget it.
Pass.
I get those guys mixed up and they're not
What's up?
each other. So I mean, he understands that the winner of that's probably getting the title shot next. So that's why I think he said loser. But he could have went in that press conference and said, "Where's my title shot?" Could legitimately
he don't deserve
say that. Whether he does or he doesn't, he's got the right by winning the fight. Now back to
that's the problem. Is every dickhead who wins a fight feels like they got to immediately say, I deserve a title shot. And then everybody's mad because basically Dana White's accommodating that stupid fucking shit. Well, again, we got to cut that shit out, bro. I'm not crediting that shit because Gaethje doesn't need a fucking title fight.
But that's why what Vera said holds a lot of weight, right? Because
exactly.
If you see all these other guys getting it, well then just get in line.
Yeah.
And if you don't get the title shot, who cares?
Right.
But at least you put it out there and Gaethje didn't do that.
Yeah.
But again, that's also going to keep him on the Dana White privilege train. Anyway, the shit show here at middleweight is just holy shit, man. And we talked about it Saturday, and we've said that there's no good fights. Colby, fuck that. That's Dana panicking. Like he don't. Maybe he sells the fight. I mean, Colby came out this week and said, if him and McGregor fought, it'd be the biggest fight ever. Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, who cares?
I think it's wearing thin, and I think when this fight happens, if it stays Colby and Leon doesn't get his way here, it will not be a big seller, and the Dana White privilege of Colby is going to go away very quickly. Interesting enough, Jorge this week said, before he's done, he's going to get another shot at Colby, and he's going to finish what he should have did the first time. It was, and I don't need to see the user on that. I know the fuck said that.
Hey, it don't matter. It don't matter. We'll get to that.
Yeah,
we'll get to that in a minute. Let's get because I mean, at the end of the day, it's more exciting than that fucking weight class. Let's just keep it a buck, bro.
But here's the thing, right? At the end of the day, the more I thought about it, look, Belal should get that shot. Period.
Who should?
I think Muhammad should get that shot.
Oh, Belal. Okay.
Belal. Yeah. He I said Belal. Belal should get that shot.
Who? That wasn't even. I mean, that was a legit reaction. I was like, who? Wait. I felt like for a second I was like, who the fuck is this guy? Like, are we really on some Dana White privilege shit? We just popping motherfuckers out of nowhere? Like, yeah, he's a title shot. Who? That guy. Yeah, him.
Was he on the Contender Series? I didn't see
right.
Anyway. Muhammad deserves a shot at this point, and I know that you know, what's it called?
I'd be willing. I'd be willing. I'd be willing to see Burns. No, I'd be willing to see Burns. I like Bilal a lot. I'm a big fan. I would rather probably see Burns than Bilal in a fight with Leon. I can absolutely take Bilal, and I feel like he has the credits to do so. His winning streak, the fights that he's doing, he's fighting people, he's consistent, etc. So I have no argument with you about it. I just don't know that I want to see that as a title fight. I don't know how many Bilal fights you've watched.
I mean, listen, but here's the thing: it's like, you know, the lesser two evils at this point. There isn't that, you know, obvious blow you away fight in the fucking division right now. It doesn't.
I think Burns is a better fight, though. I think Burns is a better fight. I mean, better as in the fight we're watching will be better.
You're playing style, sure.
Yeah,
I know, but listen, I mean, I don't think there's going to be any doubt, but at the very least, you can't say shit until he gets through with the Masvidal fight. You got to at least let it play out. And who knows? You know, if Jorge pulls off the miracle,
I love Jorge,
and it would be a fucking miracle. Now you got it's even more convoluted,
right?
Because, you know, he could turn around and go, whoa, you know, with if Colby gets a shot, like, whoa, hold on a minute, you know, because look, let's face it, Colby barely beat him.
No,
that was an ugly fight for both of them. It was a decision. It was ugly.
I'm not going to go as far as to say he barely beat him. He beat Masvidal. Masvidal did nothing. Masvidal basically turtled up for half of the fight, ran for half of the fight, and then was getting fucked up the other part of the fight. I know I just made up like 50 halves, but I'm just saying, ultimately it was not close. It wasn't this could go. It really was a unanimous fucking decision. I watched that fight and I was pissed off because Jorge did all this fucking big mouth and big mammy jammy shit, and then walked out there and basically did nothing. He just kind of stood there. Like, you know what, dude? If you didn't want to show up, you shouldn't have took the fight. You also shouldn't have did all that fucking big talking you were doing just to go out there and fucking turtle up the whole time. I wasn't feeling that. I don't think that's a good fight. I don't want to see them fight again. To be fair, Colby's a great fighter. I'm just tired of him because his last few fights they're always like, it's like buzzard fights. He's getting the fights that, like, this isn't competition. This is whatever. This isn't a great fight. This is whatever. The fight against Woodley, like, Woodley was like a half shell of his half self. Like, the next thing Woodley did was get knocked out by fucking Jake Paul, right? That's the fight that's your fight. Like, then whatever.
By the way, side note, that Jake Paul thing ruined fucking Cobra Kai for me now. Because they introduced Woodley as this badass. Nah, dude, nah. I couldn't believe it. Watching him fight, all the fake fight scenes, ruined it for me.
Yeah, fuck that, bro. Hey, but
listen. Listen. Look, the next
hold on, bro. Hold on. You're not gonna do that right now.
Whoa.
We need to get back to the real thing. The real thing being. Wait, I was waiting for somebody to show up. Nobody was there. My bad. I thought they were gonna let me know that they were gonna come. No one came. They were supposed to be on the field. I didn't get the notification right now. Sorry. My bad.
Nope.
Whoops.
All I wanted to say was I'm looking forward to the next UFC 287 where we have a similar situation where Adesanya gets a return shot at his belt against Pereira. And that should be a much better fight than Usman Edwards. Okay, moving on from UFC. Well, obviously, I know we were waiting because we were at a certain place at a certain fucking time that we knew about a week beforehand.
Yeah.
And apparently we were the only team that cared enough to be there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
it was really early in the morning, though. It was really early in the morning. Really early in the morning. I do have to look. I have to say, dude, it took me a long time to not be mad. It took me a long time not to be mad. Bro, I was sitting there, like, when I got up in the morning, which seemed like 5 minutes after I went to bed, and I'm on the road at that point, and I'm wondering what the fuck I'm doing. Why am I doing this? Am I really enjoying this shit? Should I be at home? Should I be just chilling or whatever? I drove out there. I was really worried because there was a little traffic issue going on not too far from where I live, so it made things a little slower. I was worried about getting there on time. I don't ever want to be the player who shows up at game time or some shit like that. I got to the field and we had a forfeit.
Here, let me make it. Let me change my perspective on how it went down. Well, look, it's both bad. I posted on fucking Facebook because I was sitting in a truck doing the same shit you are.
Yes,
and let's face it, you've been playing. I get up to, I've only had to get up to run the tournament. So I already know I'm stuck there all day. So it doesn't, you get used to it.
Right.
The fact that I could have stayed home.
Yes.
Did not help at all. But I'm like, wow, I don't know about this shit.
I was mad. I ain't gonna bullshit.
So
I usually try to pump fake, but I was mad, dude. No, I was mad.
So let's back up just for a sec for people, because most already do know and they know what's coming. But let's back up and give everybody who may not have been there notice. So we played a softball tournament this weekend. When the bracket came out, or the times came out Tuesday, I believe, we saw that there was going to be a 7 a.m. game on Sunday. So you knew it before the tournament started.
Playing accordingly.
You knew. Every team playing. There were 20 teams there. All right, in our division, 20 combined major AAA. Now, we joked, we half joked, we were dead serious. We didn't want to do that. So going into Saturday, we were like, we didn't even care who we were playing. Like, look, we don't want that fucking game.
That's right.
Well, look, long story short, we got that fucking game. All right, we did it to ourselves. It is what it is. We'll get into that a little more later. So anyway, we get that 7 o'clock game on Sunday morning. When I pulled up, because I got there at 6:20, Ump was parked next to me, and he started, oh, hey, by the way, I don't think that team's going to show up this morning. And I said, I'm sorry, you speaking to me? Yeah, they were having problems even getting people last night. We don't think they're going to be here. I think they're going to forfeit. Really? Looked at the watch again. Okay. All right. So, anyway, we go out there and people start showing up. Los lets us know he might be late, but he gets there. He would have been there on time if we played at the time.
Yeah, it was about 15 minutes
supposed
early.
to.
Yeah.
So I think we had 10, 11. And here's the fucked up part, guys. They never told anybody they weren't coming. Now, there was another team who ended up forfeiting Sunday morning. They let their team they were playing know Saturday night they weren't coming. So Blue Pill Mafia was able to sleep in until 9 or whatever. Fucked up part is, if we had known that, we wouldn't have had to been there till 11 to play. So be there for a 7 o'clock game instead of be there for an 11 o'clock game. And let's talk about what, I was going to let it go too, Los. I get over it. And then when I saw the fucking post.
I wasn't letting it go.
Listen, I was going to be funny about it. Now I'm being more serious. But my post, the fucking response, all right, unsolicited, trying to fucking blame the schedule or fucking this, that, or the other. Fuck that. That's total, that's cop-out bullshit. Everybody knew what the fucking times were. Whether you agreed with it or you didn't agree with it, all right, you stayed in the tournament, you paid your money, and you were playing. I don't. I would
have felt different. I think I said it in the team text chat, whatever the fuck. I think that was the moment where you take the high road and you say, hey, we fucked up. My bad. And I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna be 100% honest. I would have been fine with that, because on Sunday, if you guys remember, I kept saying that. I was like, I'm not even gonna bring it up. I'm not gonna worry about it. I'm not gonna worry about it. I'm not gonna say anything about it. Then I saw that message and it was like, wait a minute, you took that chance to go and blame the fucking schedule? Nah, fam, you didn't come and you didn't let anybody know. And if you were even having thoughts of not having enough, you should have at least let the coach know, like, hey man, there's a good chance we're not going to make it, or some shit like that. And then, okay, cool. You don't do that. Things happen. Maybe you didn't find out in time. Okay, I'm cool with that. Like, I'm not an idiot, right? But to then go after the fact and then say, well, we shouldn't have had to play the schedule. No, we shouldn't have had to, but we did. And that's the schedule we all agreed to play. And like, at that point, you'd already played a couple of games. So you were already on board with the schedule. If you didn't like the schedule, don't play. If you didn't like the schedule, pull out. As soon as you see the bracket, hit the director up like, fuck that, we can't play. We're going to make it. That's ugly to me. I know it sounds like some bullshit to be whining about a minute and a couple hours of sleep, and I'm not really whining about the sleep part. I know I say this to anyone who knows me, anyone who will hear this and knows me, knows that the one thing that I say all the time is I don't really give a fuck about money. I don't give a fuck about a lot of things, but I can't get my time back. And I would have much rather been sitting here drinking coffee and talking shit with my wife and playing with the fucking dogs or some shit for a couple of hours than sitting at a field or trying to find something to do for 4 fucking hours in bum ass Maricopa. That wasn't a good look. Yeah, that wasn't a good look, and it was very frustrating to see to just see the lack of accountability after the fact. Like, there's no one to blame.
And then let's put in their coach message our coach at 10 after 7. Sorry, couldn't get enough guys.
Right,
that's a double game. That's an added fuck you.
Yeah.
And that's how I take it, and there's no other way to take it. That's an added fuck you. You know what time the game was scheduled.
Yeah, it's tough. And I'm going to say, you got to
let somebody, even if you weren't sure if you're going to have enough guys on Sunday morning, if there was even an inkling that you thought that was going to happen, you should have given somebody a fucking heads up Saturday night. Period. There's no other way around it for me. I'm
going to say individually though, I think, I probably was way more mad about that shit than I should have been. I don't know. I don't know why it pissed me off so bad. And I probably didn't express that in the manner that it really had me upset. And I guess, again, it's just time, dude. I don't know. Mortality is what it is nowadays, but I don't want my time wasted by anyone and anything. And especially when it comes down to something that really that is a matter of, just being respectful of other people's time, man. I felt bad that I was going to be, I didn't say late. I felt bad because I was going to be showing up like 15 minutes before game time. I'm not obligated to be there anytime other than game time, right? But I felt bad that I was going to be there 15 minutes, close to time. And to have someone else basically say, I don't give a shit in so many words about my time or your time or anybody else's on the field time or even the umpire's fucking time. I don't know. That shit pissed me off, dude. Especially because, that night we didn't get home. Fuck everybody else. I didn't get home till like 12:30. I got home at 12:30. It took me 30, 40 minutes. Shit, it almost took me an hour to really bring myself down, relax and go to sleep. To turn around and have to wake up at 4:30, 5 o'clock or whatever to try to get to the field by, before 7 o'clock. That's just a bad look. But you know what I don't want to do? I know there's people talking about what team is it. We're not going to do that because what I don't like to do, and I know I say this to Mark all the time, and I'll say it on the show, I'm not giving credit to negative bullshit people. I won't give you 5 minutes. I won't give you a second. I won't say your name. You're not deserving of that.
I'll put it to you this way.
It's ugly, bro.
This is all I'm going to say about that.
Now, don't tell them to find the bracket because they know that. They're asking that shit to ask what it is.
Okay. Slow down. Slow your roll, young man. Slow your roll. There are OGs who listen to this show who get it, all right? They understand the assignment. If you understand that, you can look at chat and figure it out for yourself. And kudos, I saw it, and you know who you are. It's bullshit, man. And I want to leave it at that, all right? It may have helped us in the long run. It may have brought our team a little closer for the weekend because of the shared anger of the situation. But what really pissed me the fuck off was not one guy showed up. So it wasn't like it was up in the air.
They already knew they wasn't going to show up.
Somebody said to somebody they're not going.
Yeah, they knew that.
And that's why I'm aggravated. I would have said the fucking team name, but you're right.
Yeah, that's why. I mean, look, again, I'm not willing to get anybody creds, and I don't mean credit, but I don't want to. I mean, I'm saying what I'm saying because I believe it. I'm not saying it, and look, I'm not even saying it because I'm not willing to say it to the person. Because, that's not me. I have no problem saying that. Probably, I'd have less problem saying it to the person than I do saying it right here. You know what I mean? But
and be for real. Bro. Next time I see those guys on the field, don't think that I ain't got about 40 fucking jokes ready to go. Like, wow, you guys are here and on time. I'm really proud of you. In that vein, okay.
Plenty of gaps.
And somebody in chat said somebody needs to do it to them now. No, that doesn't.
No, that's bullshit, bro. We don't need that.
Fucking right here.
Yeah, we don't need that,
bro. Those guys that paid their money. You're going to give them their fucking $400 back?
Nah, we don't need. But on top of that, again, we're always talking about being good stewards of softball and a good community and whatever. And what we don't need is dumb shit based on people doing dumb shit. So if somebody else does dumb shit, why do we need to stoop to that level? I don't ever want to put anybody in the position that we were in or that anyone else has ever been in that, that hasn't been treated with that level of respect. I don't think that's a way to do things. No. I would never, ever, ever, ever recommend that. And for what it's worth, the amount of shit we're saying about it right now is because that's the level of dog shit that kind of move is. But you know what? This tournament, There's some.
We got good shit to talk about.
But there's all.
Speaking of respect,
it's everything. It's the whole range of things about this tournament. That's one thing I think is really dope. Why I really want to spend a good amount of time talking about this tournament.
Yeah, the good, the bad, and the ugly.
Because a lot of the time we get in the habit of we just bitch about a tournament, or we say, oh, we did well in the tournament. That's what everybody does. But I think it's good that we address the tournament in as honest or as neutral or as objective a manner as we can, because there were a lot of things that were good about the tournament. There were a lot of things that were really, really bad about the tournament. And there were a lot of things that were really, really ugly about the tournament. But overall, I had a good time.
And I got ones that like could fall into either ugly or good, depending on how you view it or which fucking party you were in the alleged situation.
Right.
I'm happy. Look, at the end of the day, good, bad, and ugly, the show itself came out of the weekend with content. Granted, I may have helped provide it, but we had content, so it's a win for us.
This motherfucker said a net would have stopped this topic. A fucking net, bro. I'm out. It's never gonna stop.
That's got to be somebody under the age of fucking 39. You fucking wussy. Net. Here we go. Don't worry. When I get 6 to 10, I'll see you boys. All right. Enjoy your 3 to 6. I'll see you soon. No, I had, beyond the videos that I posted, if you saw them, shout out New Mexico Punishers. Appreciate you guys checking when the show started. I had fun regardless. Look, finishing second AAA team. I don't even listen. And by the way, let's get into a bad right now. Let's knock one out right now. How? And I'm asking. I'm not bitching. I'm asking. How am I supposed to determine who finished where, what, how, what? Like, I'm about to say, like, we finished second in the AAA, but then really we finished fourth overall, and then like two major teams split like what, second and third or second, because Toto Madre didn't lose to fucking anybody. So I don't even know what they're splitting. Is it just the majors? It got so confusing about how to even say how you finished this weekend. I'm confused. My brain hurts. I'm just gonna say the team we were on finished fourth overall in the combined division of 20 teams. That feels like the easiest way to do it and the fairest way to do it, all right? But, you know, I got a funny feeling they were planning on having at least one major team make it to the final undefeated, so it'd be the easy prize swap. But then Toto went and fucked that all up, didn't they? Not losing a goddamn game all weekend. Yes, but then I have to say second in AAA, all right? And that diminishes what Tota did. And that's why I'd rather say fourth overall. Because Tota beat major team. They beat S-Bob to win the whole fucking thing, man. And I think that deserves to be talked about. Also in the regard of you guys shouldn't be AAA anymore, but that's a discussion for another day. Uh-oh, did I freeze? Did Marlos freeze? What do we got going on here? Oh, no, you fell asleep.
No,
good morning.
Neither. I was just waiting.
A coin flip would have settled who got second, absolutely. But then again, maybe I copyrighted that in the dead of the night, and they can't do that without paying me a royalty. Who knows? Maybe.
Yeah, nobody wants. Yeah, people don't want to come off that bread, bro. You know that's what happens with IP, bro.
So that was the bad thing. One of the bad things. I don't know, man. That one confused me, but I had a fucking ball. Thank you, Ryan, for having me out. I got a chance to play with a guy that we don't, he's got a home, and we happened that they were off this weekend, so he jumped to us, and Randy Blunt, who might be the biggest Blaze Rock fan in Arizona.
Yeah, shout out to that. That was fucking, hold on. That was fucking dope, bro. I didn't want to type the shit, right? Because I felt like that didn't do it justice. I'm glad Randy's on the show, in the audience or listening or whatever, and I'm also saying it in general. That was
here
like
and there, huh?
Fucking thing. That was the fucking dopest thing I'd ever fucking experienced as a softball player or whatever. Because there were times like when I came back up to the field. All right, this is me being honest, right? So I heard a song playing as I was coming back over to the field, and I'm like, "Yo, I've heard this shit before. It's kind of crazy." It's like, "What is this?" And I'm listening, and And then, like, I don't know, 3-4 fucking minutes later, I go, wait a minute, that's me. What the fuck, right? and then Randy was so fucking gracious about it. He's like, I've been fucking pumping this shit. It's dope. It's crazy. And I'm really weird about compliments as it is, because I'm just a weird person. And so, I'm thankful. Obviously, I'm grateful or whatever. But it was crazy because he kept playing it. And he was like, and you could tell he was playing it because he enjoyed it, not playing it because he was just being funny or fucking with me or some stupid shit. And so that was like really like such a fucking dope thing. I've literally never played any of my music purposely, me individually, purposely during a tournament. I've had people ask me to. I know Mitch does from time to time. I know you've done it before, Mark, obviously. But I've never really done that. I think it's weird. I'm just way too modest for shit like that. But to have that, it was amazing. It was fucking dope. So shout out to Randy. I owe that motherfucker like stickers and every goddamn thing else. Blaze Rock shit as well as Glue Guy shit. But again, it was very, very dope, and I super duper duper appreciated it.
Yeah, I got a kick out of it, and then that was Saturday, and then Sunday I grabbed him and said, all right, look, we gotta add some other songs in here. So we got
totally.
And we got a couple BP Mercenary songs that I love, and Los knows that. I'm a big Paco fan, along with, your solo stuff. There's some BP songs that have kind of hit me, especially with the show intro, and I hear.
Yeah.
So what's funny is we added them in the playlist and then kind of went on, and I didn't know how long we were going to play Sunday, but then, we kept winning and winning and winning, so the songs were repeating. And toward the end,
right.
Toward the end of the day, there's a song called Clink Kong that has one of Marlos's best opening kind of lines into it, and just kind of subconsciously, well, no, I was out loud, so it's not subconsciously, just going with the song and getting into the moment. I'm standing in the on deck circle basically singing the song, not realizing I am the one, and I screamed it. And no, it was after an inning. I was getting ready to go out. And I did that, and you turned around going to third and kind of gave me a double take and went, all right, I see you. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, not exactly how I do it, but okay. All right, white boy, you're good. Anyway. So that's a cool thing, all right? Because I do that shit in my truck at work if it comes on shuffle, whatever. But that was goddamn cool. And me personally, it's not often I get to play with Randy. Obviously, Bandits plays a lot. So it was really cool to find it off weekend, just run with them all weekend and have fun. And we got the siren a couple times, which I was looking forward to.
Hey, the siren, yeah.
And everybody knows that if you don't know.
That shit's amazing, bro. That shit's amazing.
You need to ask somebody if you don't know. And then, of course, to add into that, Calvert and Colin from Blue Point.
Yeah.
We're also off, so we got that. And that Colin's a fucking gamer, bro. Clutches all hell.
Fuck yeah.
We beat Dirty Money. That was Colin ended that. Bottom of the open to walk it off. Calvert's Calvert. Again, if you don't know, ask somebody. And it's just cool, that kind of stuff. Talking just softball with him over the course of the day. It was nice, just like, Coach, am I in or out? What do you need? I wasn't running shit. In fact, thanks to Ryan, but I took myself out of a couple games because I wasn't hitting. And I said, bat 10, not 11. If I'm not pitching, pull me out of the lineup completely because, my bat's definitely not fucking helping. And let's get swings to the guys who actually know how to use the bat this weekend.
Yeah, spin the lineup quicker.
And I think that helped. And then right around there, our bottom half just started going the fuck off. And I think our 8-9 hitters ended up finishing in the top 5 in OB for the weekend. So
yeah, they did a great fucking job. Did a lot of great things.
They fucking they carried us toward the end and Sunday.
I think it was
our top guys need a little bit of a rub. Our
rub
that's
and tug. I was just gonna say. Wow, I wasn't gonna say that, but yeah.
No, but I wanted to cover
the
it.
issue. Yeah, that's definitely
catch it before anybody else did.
Right.
They picked up the slack. The guys at the top were struggling a little bit, and then the guys at the bottom of the lineup picked up that slack and carried it. We're on base. Fucking bang, bang, bang. Every at bat.
Yeah. No, I think they did a great job, especially because there were a couple of points that I mean, most people don't like to say this or whatever. I think the bottom half of our order, very much like what you were getting to. I think about bottom half of our order is what kept us in the tournament, and it was the bridge essentially to us winning some of those other games. Because we definitely had a point where we definitely had a point where the top 4 or so, where we struggled a little bit, had a little trouble, but those guys picked it up, and I think we kind of fed off of that and started, got it back together. So it was really dope.
All right, I'm gonna address this. You may want to go.
Uh-oh.
No. I can't. I saw it. I'm like, do I let it go?
This.
Do I let
Watch
it go?
This. Wait.
Folks, that's what happens.
I'm fucking with you, bro.
That's what happens when you've been doing a show with me for a little while. You learn to find the button, the bailout button,
the stop
the
video,
emergency exit. Yeah, boop. So this mother, bloop.
Man.
See, we don't have end music.
Yeah, I started to put on the intro. I started to put on the intro. Like,
all right, hold on. I'm just gonna address that whole comment. Look, you know who you are, so I'm not gonna say your name because we said we weren't gonna. But listen, showing up with 6 or 7 would at least show to me that there was some fucking effort. All right, by not showing up with anyone, somebody at some point said we're not
we
going.
Ain't showing.
Someone should have fucking messaged one of us that shit on Saturday night.
Yeah,
don't tell me this. It would have been disrespectful showing up with 6 or 7 Sunday morning. Fuck, I would have bought you fucking breakfast for coming the fuck out, the 6 or 7 of you. With appreciation that it wasn't a waste of my fucking time to get up at 5 instead of fucking 9:30 or 9. All right? So that's complete and utter horse shit, and get it the fuck out of my chat. All right, moving on. So Sunday comes.
Run it back to that, yeah.
Look, man, I had a ball with everybody on that fucking team. Look, Dave and Justin and Mike at the bottom. Fuck, Dave Weems has the weirdest fucking looking goddamn setup in the box, and is fucking successful. Yeah, I'm gonna start putting my front foot out like that.
Hey,
my God, that looked good.
Wait. I'm gonna leave you alone for a minute, bro. I'm gonna let you breathe for a minute, girl. I'm gonna let you breathe.
I didn't hit real well, right? So I'm gonna try everybody's successful stance.
Yeah.
And the one guy I gotta bring up, and if you've seen the video, you've heard him, okay? But fucking Trey, dude.
Man,
and then I found out after the fact.
That's chocolate milk, folk.
Yeah, Trey is well schooled in the shit talking for his time at BSC.
Yes, sir.
All right, so that just makes it, look, man. There were some, I wouldn't even call it shenanigans because it was so fucking out of nowhere. I was so happy that Dre was running the camera. He didn't call every game, but he had his phone up or a camera up pretty much on field 2 the whole weekend while he went and played. So that was pretty fucking cool. So shout out to Dre for that, because it gave me the videos that you guys saw when I went back, because I didn't even realize we were on it. Granted, you got to understand, folks, I wasn't really following certain pages and people for a while. But let bygones be bygones. So I had to go and check when I saw that game. I was like, oh boy, because I already knew what fucking happened that game. So thank you to Dre for even having a camera on, so I was able to kind of cut those clips. Again, we got show content as I added another member to our exclusive Backwards K Club. I feel like I'm contributing to the show, promotions and shit. So if I'm putting guys in this exclusive club, it's a good thing, right? But I posted on Instagram, and I'll say it here. If you got video of someone K and looking, send it. We'll get them in the club, man. It's a cool club to be in. That's all I'm going to say. But the one that I want to talk about, second pool game, we're playing New Mexico Punishers. And please, let me preface this. All right, guys, no one else on that team said anything but good shit the whole game. All right, there was no shit talking. There was no insinuating. Anything these guys said was pumping their own guys up. They couldn't have been more classy. All right, and they ended up winning the game. So they couldn't have been more classy in winning the game. I want to get that out there so it's not misconstrued as if it was it was one guy who I found out after the fact may have had a couple too many on Saturday, and apparently was very humbled on Sunday when they came back. If you didn't see the video, I'll be more than happy to describe it for you. Marlos was a witness. I think Hawkins is in the chat. If Labarge is in the chat, he was catching. And if Trey's around, I fucking know Trey saw it, because he dropped that bomb on that son of a bitch before the ball even hit the ground after the foul out. So I know people, can back me up. No, we couldn't tell. See, now this is a new viewer, isn't it? New viewer, they don't get it. The sarcasm just dripping. So it was the catcher. All right, thank you. So we're playing Punishers. It's windy. It's Maricopa. It's fuck, man. It's like the sun coming up. It's going to be windy. And I'm not exactly dialed in. I'm kind of, it's going different ways. Same pitch going 2 different, anyway. So I'm grinding a little bit. I'm struggling a little bit. Couple walks, couple walks. Hey, it's ironic that he didn't get any sleep from St. Patty's Day because I didn't get any fucking sleep from Saturday to Sunday. Moving on. So it's going around. So this guy comes in, and I throw one, and it's inside, and he's chirping, and you can see in the video I kind of stand there for a minute, and I'm trying to figure out what the hell he's chirping about. Because I got to be honest, I was on my best behavior. And you guys can be the judge who were there. I was on my best behavior. I was trying not to chirp, all right? Mark is not on Grindr. Get it out of your head. So I ask him, I figure out he's crying about where my pitches are going. So I asked him where he wanted it, and he said outside middle. So if you watch the second pitch, I tried to throw it inside to be a dick, and I completely missed the mat. So now I'm like, all right, you better hit the fucking mat. And he stands there and he does this up. This is going to mess with the pitcher's head. I better lean over the mat because it's 3-1. I get the strike, and then I tried to spin a ball so fucking hard because I was trying to get him to swing and miss. But I threw it way too far outside, and if the dumbass had just left the bat on his fucking shoulder, he would have walked. He could have talked shit because I would have walked in the 5th run of the inning. But no, he was running his mouth, and he had to swing, and he barely touched the ball. I almost got the swinger, but he got a piece of it. And before the ball hit the ground, our boy Trey on our team was like, "You talked all that junk and you got out." And it was loud. You hear it on the video. Anyway, I told him, have a great day. You can hear that in the video too. That's me being on my best behavior. But I text Los today, watching the video. I think I tried to do a half-ass McGregor kind of when I got toward the foul line.
The strut.
Half-ass. But I was moving a little quicker coming off the mound than I usually did. So I was pretty pissed off. Fired up, I should say. And I learned this weekend that I got to have a little bit of that, I would say anger, but just that edge to pitch better. Because when I pitched Saturday night, I pitched much better. And the ball was going where I thought it was going to go. I was moving fielders, and it was pretty much, I had a good rate of where, when I said it was going to go somewhere, it went there. So that game there locked me in for later. Like I said, New Mexico Punishers was nothing but gracious. It's not a reflection on their team whatsoever. They made a really nice run. I don't know where they went out, but they were still in it Sunday.
They beat a couple good teams too.
Yeah, they beat a couple really good teams. So, and my understanding is, guy had a lack of sleep, had drank a little, and on Sunday he was a completely different guy. So good for him. But they did ask me to provide them the video so they could post it in their team chat to as a what not to do kind of thing, I guess, for tournaments. So it's nice to be part of an instructional video also, because I do train new construction inspectors coming into the industry. Anyway, we got lucky that Trey was rolling because we got that, and then we also got the looking K that I got to induct one of those wonderful New Mexico Punishers into the Backwards K Club. Glue Guys exclusive Backwards K Club. They ended up losing to Blue Pill, which is funny because they had beaten Blue Pill earlier. I don't know if that was pool or bracket. I think it was bracket. So that would be ironic if they knocked them to losers bracket and then Blue Pill knocked them out later. But listen, 20 teams, man. 20 teams. I got to give Rods, the other Showtime, a shout out. He was fucking rabbiting for, I think it was Barachos, and he was like running for everybody. So I promised him he'd get a shout out. I think he went 3 for 3. I was playing first. I couldn't fucking figure it out. So he got 3 hits. He earned them, and he ran for everybody. So there, I promised him I would shout him out. Just shout out to Totem, man. Even Showtime, even Sal played good. I saw him playing third. I don't know what he's thinking, but good for him. No. See, you're my barometer. If you don't even react, then I know it's a bad joke.
Well, I mean that the reason I didn't react is I assumed that it may have been more of an inside joke because yeah, that's what I'm gonna go with.
No, the inside joke with Sal is something you actually got to witness in the Barachos game when second baseman made that error, and you guys were all screaming at me to go to third, and I stopped at second because there ain't no fucking way I was going to third. Getting an extra base that I shouldn't have. It happened against Toto 2 weeks ago too, and I looked at Sal.
Can we hold on? All right. Can we go back to that? Can we go back to that for a second? Right?
I'd rather not, okay. But
okay. Well, we are. We are. So, dude, like legit, I know you hit it and you were kind of frustrated with yourself. So you kind of put your head down. You were kind of talking to, I forget who was first base coach or someone who was in the general vicinity. You were kind of talking to him as you're going down the baseline.
No. My head was down.
Okay.
I wasn't talking. I'm talking to myself, if anybody.
Okay. Because the way, like, again, that's why I said it that way. Because as you're running, it looks like you put your head down and you're angling a little bit towards the first base side, whomever was the coach there, or if it might have been someone from the other team. So there was this, like, I'll call it 30-second gap between when you hit the ball, you started running, and literally everybody on the fucking field is screaming for you to run. At that point, like I said, there was it felt like, and it literally couldn't have been, but it felt like a 30-second gap between the time in which you started talking to yourself, put your head down, and you're like, I'm running. And then you were like, oh, wait a minute. Everyone's telling me I need to run. And you looked up and you saw the ball had went past the second baseman. So you started running. You started going, right? The ball continues to roll to the fucking fence, right? And we are all losing our shit. Like, go three, go three, go three. You got about halfway to second. And I don't give a fuck if anybody else noticed it. But I swear to God, you hit the brakes. Like, it was like, nah, y'all stupid as fuck. There's no fucking way I'm going past this base right fucking here. And it's like a good 30 seconds later, the ball finally comes in. And you were just like, nah, ain't no chance in the fucking world. Nope. And so we were all kind of thinking like, yo, had he ran out the box, he might have motherfucked around and got the third. I don't know what the fuck you would think.
All right, first of all, let's speaking of CNN, let me refute a couple of things here.
Oh man.
It wasn't fucking 30 seconds. So listen,
I said that, I said that. I literally said, okay, it really wasn't 30 seconds. I mean, dude, honestly, if you were that fucking slow, you shouldn't have your ass on the fucking field, bro. If it takes you 30 seconds to get from first to second, get the fuck off the field. There's no reason to be. I said 30 seconds, but I was kidding. I said 30 seconds. No, it really wasn't 30 seconds, but 30 seconds. Now, go. Sorry.
So, all right, look, I had not been hitting well all fucking weekend. Let's just leave it at that. And I was very frustrated. That game, I was getting lucky. I got a Judy first at bat. I think the second baseman bobbled it, and I beat the throw to first on a double play, and then this at bat came up. And I saw the gap I wanted to hit, but I would have had to hit it over the second baseman's head. So my aim and whatnot was good, but I didn't feel like I got it, and it was on the ground right at him. So immediately out of the box, I'm at half speed with my head down, cursing myself, all right? And then I kind of got my head for a minute, and I was going through the motions of getting to first. And then I guess the screaming finally got through over me yelling at myself. And I heard it, and I kind of looked up, and the ball's going toward the fucking fence because I see the outfielder now kind of curling toward the fence. And I went, did I hit it that? Oh, who gives a fuck? You got to move. I got caught up in, I didn't think I hit it that hard instead of get your ass moving. So I kind of pick it up, and I realize I'm going to get second. And as I'm getting towards second, I see the outfielder pick it up and make an executive decision that I'm making it to third on a half decent relay. And I'm lucky to be on base. I'm not going to chance it trying to go to three. So I slow up, get on second, give my entire bench the double fucking Steve Austin middle finger. Because there ain't no way I'm going to three. Because you can lie if you want. Every single one of you guys was yelling three.
Oh, yeah, we was all yelling three.
It was not happening. They would have had me by 2 steps. And it's my fault for not having my head up, but the fact that it was rolling to the fence, I'm still bewildered because, like I said, I didn't think I hit it that hard.
You didn't, You didn't, but it still rolled to the fence. That's like you didn't hit it hard at all. That's not the problem. It's just that it went to the fence. I'm not physically. It didn't seem like you hit it that hard. It bounced. It hit a nice little stride. Because it didn't just bounce over the second baseman. He kind of, I'll say it kind of kicked off his glove, very similar to like a bunch of plays that I couldn't make. And when it did that, it just kept fucking going. And it was like, I think the right fielder and the right center fielder were kind of in the same vein as you, like, oh, this is nothing. Then the ball goes, and they're like, wait a minute, are you going or am I going? And then there was a good, again, 30 seconds where they're just kind of like, is it yours or is it mine? You going? I'm going. Nah. And then they finally get going. And even the throw in, once they got it, wasn't like hey, let's get this motherfucker. It's like, hey, man, just get this shit in, whatever. It was, I don't know, dude. He just, again, the right fielder, that's the thing, is it looked like the right fielder and the right center fielder were kind of both looking at each other like, you gonna get that? Or you got it? You got it? Nah, you got it. You got it. And then again, it was like a good while. And then they figured it out and they were like, all right, let's get the ball. But by that time, you were like, yeah, fuck this shit. I'm stopping at 2, call it what it is. And the rest of us were screaming, but it was fucking hilarious. But yeah.
Yeah, I wasn't. Look, I was happy with 2. With the shitty swing, the way the day was going, I was not getting thrown out at third. I don't care how easily you guys think I might have made it. All right, I wasn't ready to take that chance. I was happy at second. I didn't mind getting a breather. I didn't have to exert any more energy than necessary. And I even tried to wave the runner off, and Dave Williams looked at me like, are you fucking crazy? Get the fuck off of this field. Yes. So I was, that was the
because it was kind of crazy. Like,
runner.
Yeah, I was gonna say, what the fuck are you waving off the runner for? And you're like, nah, I'm good. I don't want to run that far. I'm like, dude, get your ass off the field. What the fuck are you doing, dude? You're sitting there, you're like, nah. You should have gnawed your ass at first. Like, what the fuck? Like, they really should have did you like we used to do in kickball. You know what I'm saying? You had one motherfucker kick it, and the other one's just waiting to run. Like, you were just like, nah, I'm not doing this shit. You got me fucked up. And then legit, I can't stress it. When you got about halfway past first base, not halfway to second, halfway past first base, there was this point where you could just tell you were like, nah, you got me fucked up, bro. Stopping right here.
About halfway to second.
It seemed like you considered going back to first. and you're just like, fuck, I'm gonna go. I'm already here. Might as well get here.
No, it was. I saw.
And then you wasn't trying to hear us. You wasn't trying to hear us once you were on second either, because we're like, yo, go say. You like.
I just double bird. Steve Austin.
Ah, shit. Oh man, now they talking shit. Now the chat's talking about the shortstop. Hey, I'm guilty for one of the balls that made that shit go crazy at that shortstop, but. It was pretty funny. I don't know. I didn't even know what happened, dude.
He didn't fucking miss much over there, did he?
Yeah.
In that game.
Hey, he was on it, bro. He was on it. I mean, at first we were giving him a lot of reps, dude. Then we figured it out. We were like, hey, let's not hit it to him. That's a good idea. That's a good idea. Hit it other places, elsewhere. It would have been great.
But hey, you know what though? Randy turned a couple too for us.
Yes, he fucking did. There was a couple plays he made. There's one that one diving joint that we didn't pull it off. But him getting the ball in general at that play was so fucking sick, dude.
Was that the one Juan ran out that I dropped the ball on?
Yeah. He made a fucking stellar play just to get the glove on the ball. The way it was hit, the angle, the shot it was hit, even where he was positioned, because he was a little out of position for where the ball went. And not necessarily where you pitched it. I just mean where it went.
No, I was playing first.
No, yeah, I'm sorry, not you. Trey pitched it. Yeah, he was a little out of position. We were there, and then he made just a fantastic play. It was amazing.
Yeah, I should have been up, and the throw was like right in that in between where you go down to kind of cover or stay up, and I went down, and it kind of palmed it a little bit, but I felt his foot hit the bag right when the ball.
Yeah, it was definitely a bang bang. It could have went anyway. Yeah, it could have went anyway. And there was I don't think anybody on our team at least was like, we got cheated. It was a terrible call. We were all like, well, I mean.
Well, I dropped it, so I made it easy for you guys. You didn't have to argue.
There's that. That
was the only one I dropped over there.
That should happen. But it happens, dude. It's not a big deal.
Yeah. I didn't embarrass myself playing first. I'll just leave it at that. I wish I could have caught that pop-up. I just going back and I realized at the last second that I was one step too far backing up, and I tried to turn and kind of over the shoulder it, and I just missed it. I mean, I watched it go past the glove like son of a bitch. Mm-hmm. But that was anyway, whatever. That's the one I want back. But look, got it done. Got us to the
let's spread away a little bit from ourselves. So there are a couple of things that I do want to say in regards to the tournament. I know people have to it in the chat. One thing, I know we have this conversation a lot. I know a lot of people say it from a complaining standpoint, just because it affects them. I'm saying this from an objective standpoint, from just being involved in tournaments, playing on teams, not playing, either way, right? Right. We got to stop this combined fucking bracket bullshit. We got to stop this shit. And I know there's major players that watch our show. I know you guys know I fuck with y'all. I love y'all. But you should know by now that my love for you will not change my ability to objectively address an issue. But this tournament was a good example of, we don't have to combine tournaments all the time. We usually hear people talk about there's not enough major teams. Yes. We hear people say how the AAA teams, the AAA tournaments are always kind of, there's not enough people, this type of bullshit. There's a ton of AAA teams, but they don't show up, that type of shit. So you had this tournament that had literally 16 fucking AAA teams, and it was so necessary to have the 4 major teams there too. And then
3, right?
3. My bad.
That's why it was combined.
Yeah.
No. Because
it was 4 because of the
night before.
That's why I said yeah. We're still right, but we got to stop that shit. There's a part of me and there's a part of me that feels like it's a disservice to the major teams themselves. Number one, yes, I know it's 4 because the one got bumped. That's why I said 4. Right. So one, it's a disservice to the major teams because ultimately these major teams are spending the bulk of that tournament playing against teams that are below them. And I say below them as in division. I don't give a fuck about the players. Right. So they're playing all those times. And then when it comes time for us to go outside of Phoenix or outside of Arizona, and we're playing against other major teams who are playing against major teams on a regular basis, then we have trouble. I'm not saying we lose. I'm not saying we get our asses kicked or whatever. Right. Yes, I understand that, ultimately these sanctions are in it for the money. I need people to keep that same motherfucking energy all the time. Right. Because yes, they're only in it for the money. But is the money more important than the alignment of the tournament or the performance of the tournament? Is the money more important than having a program that yields success? Those are questions that I don't think really get answered enough or really don't, get enough attention. The other issue is when you had that many you had that many teams. I don't know that you make that at a field that has 3 at a park that has 3 fields. That immediately turned a tournament that probably should have been done in a day into a full 2-day tournament of no value to anyone who was actually on the field. We got to stop that shit, bro. The sanctions. Look, I get it. You want your money. I get it. You're not going to turn down money because, you got 3 or 4 major teams or whatever. Right. But you're not doing anyone a service other than yourselves. You're getting the money. Right. We get it. That's what you're here for. You're a business. I am not a child. I know better. Right. However, again, we spent a long time at that tournament. And I say we, not just my team. I mean, everybody who was involved, who played anything. Saturday. Old Spice, a couple of guys from Old Spice, we were talking to them, right? They ended up being the 1 seed after pool play. They played their first pool play game at 8:00 in the morning. They played their second pool play at approximately 3:30 p.m. They played only one other game in bracket play, which was against us, and that was at like 7:00, and then 6:00, and they went home.
And it almost cost them because
because they were okay. So
right, we got we got 2 zeros on them in the first and second inning, and it's not because we were having this amazing run. All right, they were cold. And the reason I could say that with confidence is because they came on toward the end of the game, and we didn't deliver when we should have.
So they spent all of that time to be at the field for roughly 12, 13 hours, and they played 3 fucking games. I think that's a significant disservice to the players themselves, those teams, and the other teams that had very similar situations. I know a lot of time people get this bug up their ass and they go, well, if you win, you don't have to do it. That's not true because they were doing that. They were doing what they were supposed to do. They only had the opportunities to win in the games that they played. I don't know why anyone believes that playing 3 or 4 games in a 12, 14-hour period of time is a sustainable business practice. That's fucking ridiculous. There's nothing about that makes sense. That means that logistically, you should have chosen a different park. You should have taken less teams. You should have made adjustments to where the tournament itself is more palatable. Why? Because then we don't have teams not showing up 7 o'clock in the morning for a tournament on Sunday that probably should have been done on Saturday. Then you don't have teams that finish their games at 11 o'clock p.m. that turn around and have to play at 7 a.m. Things like that. We're so driven by dollars, and I'm going to blame us softball people too, because we're not devoid of blame. We go out to those fields, and I can't tell you the echo and cacophony of fucking complaints that I heard about the times of the bracket and how long they were waiting and et cetera. And you assholes will be right back there on the next tournament with the same goddamn setup and the same fucking complaint. And the only thing we can do about it is speak with our dollars, and we don't. That was very, very difficult for me. I know a lot of people play softball because they want to get away from their families. They want to get away from their kids, from their wives and shit like that. I don't. I love being around my wife. I love being around my kids and shit. I can't stand my kids. I hate them. They're all pains in the ass. No, I'm kidding. But I'd rather do that than just be forced into some shit that I'm paying for just because someone wants to make more money off of my, my community members and et cetera, the softball people and shit. I don't know. We have to do better. I want to see our major teams. I want to see our major divisions grow. I'm so fucking sick of people whining about getting bumps. I'm tired. At this point, I'm tired because now we're going to the whole chicken versus the egg thing. You have all these people who complain about we don't have enough major teams, but yeah, we have teams who are really good enough to compete with each other and other major teams, and they just don't want to go up, and for no real reason. You know what I'm saying? And I really want us, and I say me. I'm not acting like I'm not involved here. I'm saying us. I really want us to do better in general, both the sanctions themselves. And I think, and in our teams and how we conduct ourselves. But I think this tournament was a good example of all of those good and bads, all the way around. But that bracket, that time, and one last thing, so I'll move on because I don't really like being super long-winded here. I like to be a little sharper, snappier. Listen, I hate pool play. I always say that. Pool play is a joke. You're padding stats essentially. You're padding stats to tell people to make them feel better about paying a certain amount of money to play in the tournament. You're padding the stats. Most teams don't give a fuck about pool play. We don't give a fuck about brackets when you're, where you're seated in the bracket. Why should we? You get a 1 seed who doesn't play for 5 fucking hours, or you get a 12 seed or some shit like that, and they're playing one time and they don't play again for another 4 or 5 hours or whatever. You haven't gained anything by playing that extra game. Someone in the chat said the exact thing I'm about to get to. 3GG, wrap the bullshit up. Because I know there were people last time, the 50 other times during this show, we've been running the show, I've said it every single time. I hate pool play. Stop it. It's a joke. We're pretending to add games for pretend value. It isn't valuable. Now, you do away with pool play, you go 3GG. Cool. Everybody's able to get what they need to do. Get yourself together, get your shit ready. You play, you do what you need to do, and you go home in a reasonable period of time. The sanction still gets their money. The teams still get their play. They still get to do what they're doing. And everybody's as close to happy as you can get, right? And especially in a tournament where there's 20 teams, bro. 20 teams is the moment you say, nah, we ain't doing this 5GG shit. We're not doing this pool play shit. Run it 3 games guaranteed. We'll do one game as an exhibition because you want to call it seeding bracket. I don't give a fuck. Boom, and we're out of there. I love that, and I'll stop here. But I love the fact that someone in the chat, something that they said, I'll read it instead of putting it up. It also hurts seeding when newer AAA teams have to play major teams.
This weekend they did. That's the one thing I actually enjoyed. All the 3 major teams played each other in pool. So no AAA teams were. I don't know about for him, so I should take that back. But the 3 major teams going into the weekend played against each other in pool. All right, they didn't play any AAA teams in pool. That's one thing I actually liked.
Well, what's the difference?
The weekend.
What was the difference?
Because it eliminates exactly what chat says.
Okay, so I'll read it this time in completion. Also hurt seeding when newer AAA teams have to play these major teams. In 50s, with 7 teams, we played 3 games on Saturday, and it was because in between was 40s and women's. It's too much going on at once. That to me is true. I don't believe that I'm gonna go as far as say I don't even think they did that on purpose, bro. I don't think they
had their own fields.
Yeah.
40s weren't over there.
I don't think that was on purpose, but 50s were on Sunday, so maybe that message is a little skewed. I don't know that look, if you're going to combine the bracket, why are you going to placate it by not having a playing seed in pool play?
Well, look, I listen. What does us going second overall have to do with that argument? First,
I don't know what the fuck that means, because you spent like a good 10 minutes saying, you know what, I'm not really sure what we actually placed.
We did
people
X, Y, and Z. Hear what they want to hear.
I guess so, because man,
whatever you need for your fucking argument, whatever.
It's weird.
That's no. Listen, I don't want to get into the format when look, this. I'll try to meet you halfway. At the very least. Let me finish. All right, look, 2 pool games was ridiculous for 20 teams on 3 fields, and that going in.
Yes.
All right. So in my mind, to meet halfway, you get 1 pool game, and that would at least cut down shit, man. It wouldn't have been a need for a 7 a.m. game at the very least. All right. Beyond maybe a couple more teams, being able to go home Saturday night if they didn't perform. But anyway, preferably when you see that coming, you should probably go straight bracket. Guys will bitch and complain, but they're still going to play, just like they bitch and complain this weekend. They're still going to play. So make it better for the player.
That's real.
Don't wait for them. The point being this, though, where we got in where the tournament got in trouble, it sure seemed to me in waiting and watching games I felt like every ump was doing like their own fucking time for the games. One guy's doing 45. One guy's doing 55. One guy did a 60 when he was supposed to do a 50. Like, I have no fucking idea from ump to ump who was doing what time, how they were doing it. So there was no.
That is not what I meant to put up there. My bad. The screen jumped on me. It jumped down on me. I was trying to put that up and it moved in between time. Sorry.
Yeah, I don't know if you know. I've run a couple, and I agree. But there were guys who, when I had them, would bitch about pool games and 2-day. And listen.
Don't play.
One day is the most efficient way to do it. You cap it at 16 or whatever, all right, and boom, you're done. And whoever signs up, signs up, and you do what you got to do. Now, that being said, there's a much better chance of a fucking combined tournament.
But why are we acting? But why are we acting like? But I guess my problem is why are now we trying to play like we're all that interested in the constituency's problems or thoughts or opinions? That fucking let's tack on a couple of extra games for nothing thing seems to placate teams that are not going to try to win. I don't know what the fuck it's supposed to do, because if you go out there and you got 2 extra pool play games and you just call them an exhibition, or I do that. Hey, I'll be the first to tell you. I tell them I don't give a fuck about a pool play game, right? Right. But I hear other players, other teams that are like straight up like, I'm just going out here to do something. I'm just going out here to try this bat out. I don't really care what happens. Like, if that's the case, then let's not fucking do it. Like, I don't understand how that is beneficial to anybody. And I would question the person who complains about, I need a 5-game guarantee versus a 3-game guarantee, or I need 2 pool play games plus the bracket, or I don't think I'm getting my money's worth. That's bullshit, bro. And I guess, again, if I start complaining about the money, if I say, why the fuck am I paying more money per tournament now than I was 2 years ago? Is the sanction going to give a shit? Fuck no. They're like, yo, this is our money. Run it up, bro. So that's why I'm like, I don't understand why we're pretending that these sanctions really give a shit about what people are complaining about. Somebody's complaining about something all the fucking time in the chat right now. And I know a lot of people are agreeing because I'm here and I'm saying it and I have the platform to say that. But I know from all the time that I've been playing softball, and especially since I've been playing senior, nobody really, not nobody, very few people really want pool play, bro. Because, dude, we're out here and we're doing these long ass tournaments Sundays, and we're late, and you gotta, I don't know, you gotta play and be reactive. I remember someone told me before that, like, yeah, I need pool play because that's how I get warmed up and whatever. That's not my fucking problem, bro. Like, legitimately, if it takes you 2 games or whatever to warm up, stay your ass at home, stretch, run up the block, or whatever the fuck you got to do, because then I'm not stuck there just fucking around in a game that you don't give a shit about either. Like, this weekend really, and I know I always scream about this, right? I used to say it to you when you were director, so it's obviously not just, I'm not picking on a sanction or shit like that. It's not that. It's the general form of Why the fuck am I here for 2 days for 5 games or for 6 games or some shit like that? Dude, how long were we at this tournament this weekend?
What did we figure? We figured out Saturday. I think we were there 15 hours Saturday.
Okay, so Saturday we were there 15 hours. Sunday we were there, let's say 12.
At least 12. Yeah.
Okay, so we spent...
Don't do it. Please don't do it. Oh, God. 30...
30, let's just fucking call it 30, right?
27.
Okay, 27 fucking hours to play how many games?
What did we figure out? 8? 7, 8?
I thought it was 7. I thought it was 6 or 7. Now,
yeah, I think it might have been
back to a point that you made. Yes,
with the forfeit.
With the forfeit, right? Some of the fields were, we're running 45-minute tournament, 45-minute games. Some were running 50. Some were running 60. Okay, fuck all that, right? Cool. Now, in essence, the 7 games or whatever, we played a total of 7 hours. We played a total of 7 hours to be at a fucking park for nearly 30. For nearly fucking 30. We were there more than a full fucking day to play 7 hours worth of softball, bro.
Right.
That's bullshit. For a basic ass tournament. We weren't fucking playing Worlds. We weren't playing an NIT, like, no offense. We weren't playing like a 10? National. I mean, I think it was an NIT, but we weren't playing nationals or some shit, right? We weren't playing some super huge 100 fucking team tournament. We're playing fucking 20 teams, bro. And the whole weekend was shot. And there's no excuse for us to continue to do that tournament after tournament after tournament. It's nonsense, bro. There's no value. Anyone who's talking about the money or the value of your money, clearly you don't function under the same economics that I do. Because I don't know, having an extra 15 hours back in time would have been way more important to me than 2 bum-ass edition games just to pretend I got more money out of it. It's nonsense, bro.
Yeah, I mean, look, I think you have to be progressive and fluid in how things happen. It was something I was always trying to do as the day went on. You know, if you have an open field, try to get a game started over there, for an example, you know. And I just think, like, you have to keep an eye on your bracket and watch your games all day and make adjustments. You can't just plug in the teams to where they finished, all right, and then just let it play out. Like, if you see a field's a fucking hour and a half behind, you know, you got to start trying to figure out if you're going to have an open field or to get a game started sooner. I mean, we talked about it. This is the one thing that pissed me off. It would have been very, very easy to switch up a couple games Saturday so the people who played at 11 o'clock
didn't have to fucking
come back at 7 in the morning. Like,
very much agree.
That was an easy fix.
Well, if we're being clear also that some of that was an adjustment itself. And I guess that's where I echo everything you just said, because that 7 a.m. was an adjustment. There was notification at some point that said, hey, we're going to have to start some of these games a little, way earlier because blah, 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 blah. I mean, I know that there's people, look, and I'm not going to waver about it. I'm not going to change my thought. I don't give a fuck. There's people that are going to say, yeah, you need the seeding games. Yes, I'm not an outfielder. I get it. But at the end of the day, you're that's not enough justification for me anymore. No. I need more. I don't need more. I need better. And like you said, being more agile about scheduling, being more practical about the number of teams that are taken or the time that a particular tournament goes on. I don't think anyone argues about having a 2-day tournament for like a state title or a nationals title or an NIT title or something like that, when there are comparable amounts of teams, or also when the fields being used accommodate the number of teams. You know, look, I'm not a director, bro. I'm just a guy who does a lot of different things in a lot of different places forever. But what I am going to say is there's some literal logistics that don't add up to, hey, let's make this much longer, much more difficult for our consumer. That just doesn't make sense.
Let me answer something in chat real quick. Why can't the coaches ask for 3-game guarantee and no pool play games and see how it goes? Because every time this has been presented to coaches, at least on my side of it, we were told, hell no, we want pool games. Okay,
there are enough people who bitch about it. Yeah, exactly. And then they get to the field
people who
bitch
and they
aren't
complain. Coaches.
Right. Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
But when it's put out there,
that's what I was going to say.
When the general constituents are asked their opinion and what they want, I can tell you for a fact, when I tried this 6 months ago, it was right down the fucking middle.
Right down the middle.
50%
Absolutely.
wanted 3-game guaranteed straight bracket. The other 50% wanted the fucking pool games because they needed them to warm up or get loose or whatever the fucking reason is.
I think that's the asinine
to
part
not
of it,
care,
too.
you know, so they could get drunk Saturday and so on Sunday when brackets start. I have no idea.
See that, and okay, so
But
somebody
I'm
said in the
telling
chat. Somebody said in the chat what I was kind of getting at. When I, especially the reason why I was hesitating when I was saying 3GG a little bit ago, I'm okay with the pool play concept, right? The idea that you need a game to warm up. Okay, cool. One of those, and then right in the bracket, like you said.
I'm
yes,
cool
I
with
know
that.
you said
Yeah.
it, but
Do one.
what I also think happens is the terminology starts fucking people off. The terminology goes from we don't want pool play games, period, and everyone takes that to mean, oh, it's straight bracket. Or then the other people go, well, we want pool play games. And then everyone says, well, now we got to have 2 or 3 pool games so that you feel like you had time to warm up and all that shit. To me, the happy medium is literally a 3GG. There's one fucking pool play game, one seeding game, one stretch game, exhibition game. I don't care. Call it the dog game. Call it your mom's game. I don't give a fuck. One game. Then the rest of it's bracket, double or limb. You get the fuck up out of there.
Listen, my thought is fuck it meaning anything. Call it exhibition, right? Because I don't like the idea of trying to fucking seed off of one game. So let's just eliminate the you know, it doesn't have any effect. You do a random draw bracket beforehand and you call it what it is, an exhibition game. So all you people want to warm up, cool. All you people want to fuck off, feel free to fuck off in that game. Yes. I'm sure your mom is a very nice lady.
I'm sure she's a very wonderful lady. I'm absolutely certain.
So, you know, for the guys who supposedly need to warm up, you get your game. For the guys that don't give a shit, well then don't give a shit.
Yeah, keep your not shitness. Yeah,
try to hit the oppo and in your 3 at bats or whatever, and then we move on to bracket, and you already know it beforehand. So you go in knowing who you're playing at a bracket, and you could treat that exhibition game however you like. But who you're going to play afterward.
Yeah, this investment of the standard being every tournament's 2 days is bullshit. And I mean, it makes it so much more difficult to commit to playing on a regular basis, etc. When you're giving up your whole weekend. And that I don't know. And I know somebody can say when I am bitching because fuck it, who cares? But that's making it tough. I mean, it really is making it tough for me. There's a conversation I just had with my wife the other day. I was just like, this 2-day shit every time. Come on, man. My whole weekend is gone, bro. That's like and it becomes harder and harder to justify it because the amount of money I'm paying to play keeps going up, and the amount of investment that I'm having to put in as far as my time for a tournament keeps going up. Where's the value in that for me?
Yeah, I have a very tough time when the tournament, however long it's going to go, starts to affect my work Monday morning. Yeah, that's kind of a line I've decided to draw. If I can't get some sleep before work Monday, then I might be out on Sunday,
right?
Or I might tell you, hey, it's 6:00, I'm out, regardless of where we are. It's and then to drive an hour plus away, to sit at the field and say, well, I got a 3-hour break. It's just long enough where I can't go home, but also it's the gas to go home. There's nowhere to fucking hang out. And if I go to hang out, I'm still spending more fucking money.
Yes.
So the way these schedules are set up are not helping me at all. They're forcing me to spend more money. Yeah, that's a problem. And it's going to affect how I commit for tournaments moving forward. Absolutely.
I agree. I hope
instead of bitching, I have to make a fucking move. It's not a matter of crying about it. I'm just going to judge every tournament on its own and say, okay, what happened last time I played there and there were this many teams or whatever, because I know how it's going to go. So,
right. Totally.
That's the only, thing I can do.
I know we keep saying, and we'll wrap this up really quick because we've been rolling for a minute. I know that one of the things that people often say, is the sanctions trying to make their money, that, the people, the tournament directors are making their money or whatever. Dude, I'm all for everybody making their money. But I guess you do have to assess your consumer to determine whether the things that you're doing are actually benefiting your consumer or even benefiting yourself. I think someone else said somewhere earlier in the chat how if you were able to condense some of these tournaments to one day, You pay less out for umpires. You pay less out for fields. You're paying out less. You're paying out less, obviously, but you're still getting the same amount of money. You're not all of a sudden going to go from a 16-team tournament to a 5-team tournament or some shit. You're still going to have 16 teams. You're still going to have the same amount or, same or similar amount of teams interested to play. You're paying out less. Your costs go down. Your revenue goes up. Your profit obviously goes up. Your revenue goes up as a result. And you're giving people a reason to feel like this is something that they can devote some time to without it taking over their weekend time, money, and et cetera. Because someone else said gas money. And when you're at the field, you're eating. You got to, you have something to eat, or, some of you folks that really drink out in the fields and shit, you got to buy drinks and all this other shit. It's a costly investment when you're starting to lose, everything keeps going up in price and cost.
Yeah. And listen, the Sunday before who's participating in your tournament, generally, 2 weeks beforehand, but you get one or two teams maybe in or out. All right.
Right.
So the weekend before, so when you could easily talk to coach's email or whatever Monday and say, hey, we're running this format because of this amount of teams or whatever. And I'm telling you right now, all right, nobody's dropping the fuck out. I've done this already, all right? I've run the tournaments. It's all one day is always easier. Yes, you might get stuck there till 10, 11 o'clock at night, but guys are much happier not having to get the fuck up the next day rather than at 5 a.m., all right?
Yeah.
Because the joke was, well, we're going to be out of there at 6 or 7 Saturday night, so if we got to come back at 7, it won't be bad. Well, when I walked in my door at fucking midnight, and I couldn't get to sleep till 1 because I couldn't settle down. Yeah, that worked out real well. So you got to listen. The sanction has to have a conscious effort to try to be consistent in how they're timing things and kind of cleaning up fields and making sure the umps are doing the times right and stay fluid over the course of a day. If you just plug teams into a bracket with the times on it and let it play out, you're always going to be late.
Of course.
And fuck. When you got umps running a 45 here and a guy running a 60 here, shit, I heard one pool game, I think it was Blue Pill, they said they cut them down like a half hour because they were running behind, yet we were on another field at the same exact time and ran like it ended up being a 75, 80-minute game.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of disconnect between the umps on the time, there was a lot of disconnect between the umps on the fucking rules, but, whatever. Those are the things I think that make the difference in. If you're going to run that many teams on that few fields, I think you got to be right on top of it. But again,
right.
I'm almost armchair quarterback at this point. It's
regardless,
it's tough.
I don't want to end on a negative note. I thought this tournament, as a whole was pretty fun. I can, obviously I can separate the scheduling and things that I don't like and all that bullshit because it's largely personal bullshit. I thought the games were great. I thought the teams that played were really, really great. Seeing all those teams, seeing the players, etc. I thought that was great. Seeing Toto run the table, I thought was dope, especially because you see, and I know people complain about this or whatever, but you see a lot of people immediately see a major team and they just run for the hills and they scream and cry. So to see Toto go ahead and battle with S-Bob, and eventually win, I think that's great. I think it's great for our, for the divisions. I think it's great in general. I thought the games that were played didn't feel like people were just, dialing it in. I thought people were playing like they should. There were some great times. I mean, obviously our team had some great times. There are clearly things that, the tournament itself could have improved on. There's things that the players could have improved on, but those things don't always matter that much. So I mean, it was still a good tournament. So there's lots of positives there. I just think it's really important to complain a little bit about those really big negatives. But again, echoing what's going on in chat right now is hats out to Tota because they came out and did what they're supposed to do. And there were other teams that I saw that really put up some good battles against some of the major teams, against some of the AAA teams. I also thought the major teams didn't act like weirdos and take it easy on anybody or any shit like that. It's just another sign again that, that there are a lot of really good players out here. In a lot of cases, it's just a matter of putting them all in the same space.
I love seeing a different competition. 16 AAA was fun, man. It was really cool. And then you get your New Mexico guys coming out, which is always cool.
Right.
50s had a good turnout. Was it 7 teams total? So that was good for those guys. They have a lot tougher time. They have a lot tougher time getting their own division. They're usually stuck with us 40s, and I can only say that till October, because then I'm fucking 50. That was nice, getting to play different teams, or at the very least just watch them, right? So I know for a fact, watching people, that everybody thought Toda had no shot beating S-Bob. So, as AAA, like, haha, let's not start, shitting on the AAA teams too soon. I felt like we tried to hang with Blue Pill when we lost late Sunday. We didn't give anything up there. Nobody, we fought the whole way. I didn't feel like any of our guys were intimidated. I mean, shit, Andy shortstop there scared the shit out of me because Trey sent him one that was going outside and he was coming right down the first baseline. That I puckered up a little bit there. We're gonna leave it at that. Surprised they didn't hit at me more the way Mike was making fun of me, but we played hard, man. The rest of the team, nobody was intimidated. I didn't get to see a lot of the games, but in hearing, the games that S-Bob played, and then, we played Dirty Money, first game out in the bracket, and so I think everybody showed up to play. That was good. When I finally saw Paul on Sunday, I felt like he definitely was trying to get everything back in order with who was left. So that helped, I think, the schedule a little bit too, because I think the ships ended up, well, they didn't play the last one, but I think it would have been almost on time, like 6:30, 7 o'clock. So that's pretty funny that after all the chaos, come Sunday, everything almost lined up. So there's a couple positives. So we'll try to go out on a good note.
Indeed. We've had you guys' attention for literally an hour and a half. We appreciate you as always. I always like to make sure that we point that out, that this show, as much as we talk a lot of shit about it to us and we don't give a fuck, we do appreciate the guys and the girls and the women and the folks and the theys and the thems that, do pay attention to us and do watch our show. Shout out to all of you. But again, shout out to all of the Arizona softball teams and the New Mexico softball teams and everybody who's, amongst the softball fraternity. And shout out to fuck that. Shout out to Dre this weekend, because I thought it was very fucking dope that homie was out there. He was on there on the mic, broadcasting, and then he's running over to playing games, and then backing over to broadcasting. He had his little boy out there who's fucking awesome, little awesome ass dude. And so watching his kid while doing all these things and whatever. I know a lot of people don't give him as much credit as he probably deserves, but I wanted to make sure that I at least gave him a shout out for that. Also, kind of like you said, Paul was able to get that, get the tournament back on track pretty much on Sunday for some of us who were still there. That was much appreciated, because I was so ready to go home, right? But again, shout out to everyone else that was there, all the people who said what's up. There are a couple people that I do owe some stickers and shit. I just
me too, man.
I shit the bed because I do have a bunch of stickers in my truck. But Sunday, because I was running behind, I took the car, didn't have the stickers with me. So again, next time you see me, if you see me at BP, or you see me wherever the fuck I am, I probably have stickers. I owe stickers. I have stickers. Get some stickers. We continue to run them and give them to people. I'm done, bro. I'm done.
Last week, I should have said this earlier. This is the last week to go jump in the thread. It's in the Glue Guys group.
Oh yeah.
We're gonna give that fucking bag away next week. So
yes, sir.
The flip off challenge there to win nice mic and fucking backpack that was donated by our friends over at Rawlings West, Ronnie Salcido and Mickey Czar. Next week we're gonna flip for that fucker. So last chance, get over on the thread, put your name in there. We'll put you in the bracket. We're gonna flip off each of the matchups according to when you signed up, and then eventually we're going to get to a winner. We're going to do that next week. So until next week, stay out of trouble. Like my videos.